Hi, I'm Sheryl Sitts, founder of Journey of Possibilities. Welcome to my Possibility Vision Board video workshop. I love doing these live, but because I can't get to everyone's homes and offices to do their groups, this way you can create your group and take me with you. And it'll be a lot of fun. And you can save it and do this anytime you want to do a vision board. Let's talk about what a vision board is. Why are they such a big deal? Well, if you've watched Oprah's rise to success, you'll know that along with her spiritual enrichment path, she also does things like vision boards. And it's worked really well for her. So I like doing vision boards. It's actually seen me go to Peru to see the macaws in their wild habitat, something I had on my vision board for a few years. Had no idea how that would happen, and I was delighted to see how it unfolded. A lot of things that I put on vision boards have come true, and whenever they start to fill up and come true, then I do a new vision board. So you can create your dreams on paper, and then as they come true, you can do it again and again and again. That's what a vision board is. If you'd like to know more about the law of attraction and why they're such powerful tools, you can watch The Secret, a pretty good movie that talks about that. You can also go on my website, download my free ebook, How to Jump Off a Cliff and Fly. I wrote this during my own entrepreneurial leap of faith into the business journey of possibilities. And I talk about the law of attraction in here as well. Another great read on the power of intention is Dr. Wayne Dyer. And the power of intention is what vision boards are. They're a visualization of how you intend your life to unfold. Make sure that what you put on there is what's important to you. And they help you get clarity around what matters to you and what you want first and next and so on. So there will be a lot that we cover in this video that helps guide you in that process. That's kind of what they are and why they matter. They're great to do at the first of the year. I spend every January 1st doing my own vision board for the next year. I pull out my old vision board and look at it. I've been looking at it through the year, but I give it a different look this time. Okay, what's happened on here? Where do I need to freshen up? What dreams do I want to pull forward? What dreams have morphed into a different kind of dream now? And what dreams don't show up at all? And then I create a new vision board for the next year. So New Year's is a great time to create a vision board. Other times you may want to do vision boards. I do an entrepreneurial coaching program for holistic practitioners, and everybody starts out with what their 5-year vision is. Or even if you're going to expand, you need to know what your new 5-year vision is from that place. A vision board is a really good way to get clarity around what you want, who you want to serve, and how you see that actually looking in your life. It's also nice to put it in the context of the rest of your life, because often for entrepreneurs and solopreneurs, our business can take over our life. So it's a really good way to put it in the perspective of everything else that you have going on. And if you know that you want to travel in your life vision board, do you want that to be part of your business? Does it go in business or does it go in personal? It continues to give you clarity. So you do them start of each year, whenever the old one expires, and anybody can do these. I mentioned Oprah does them, Jim Carrey does them. He was the first comedian to get paid 7 figures for a film, and that was a vision board goal of his and a declaration he made in the world. So do your vision board. You can meditate with it each day, put it somewhere visible. Mine hangs next to my bed. It's the last thing I see at night as I'm falling asleep, and it's the first thing I see in the morning when I wake up. And I look at it and I actually feel what some of those things would feel like if they were unfolding. And it magically attracts to me, if you believe in magic, amazing people and experiences and opportunities for the vision board to come true. So you'll want to make this a prominent part of your life. Next in this video, we're going to talk about the supplies that you're going to need to do a vision board. And of course, you'll take into account whether you want to do this as a group for your workshop or whether this is just one person, and that will affect how many supplies you get. But we'll look at which supplies you'll want to have on hand. So now let's talk about what you want for your vision board workshop. It doesn't take much. They're very affordable, so that's the fun part of it. The first thing I'd like to ask you to have on hand is paper and a pen, because we're going to do a meditation in a few moments, and after that meditation, I'm going to invite you to jot down whatever came through for you during that meditation. So paper and a pen will be handy. Next, of course, a poster board. And you can get fun with your vision board invitations. Bring your own poster board or whatever. You can use white poster board. You can use, I've got here some neon colors. It's fun. Make it fun. Whatever's going to fit in with what you want to do. Another way you can pick what color canvas you use is if you're working with your chakras and there's a color that you'd like to work with to build up that chakra. For example, you're trying to find your voice, learn to speak your truth. A blue poster board would be good for that because you're going to be looking at this a lot, so blue would be helpful. You can learn more about online what colors go with what chakras, or just reach out to me. So you want to find a fun poster board. Also, I've had suggested why not use corkboard. You could have like a bulletin board type vision board that you modify as you go along. So there's lots of possibilities here. Play with it. That's the whole idea. Next, you're going to want to have some markers and things so that if you don't find an image or a word that you want in some of the magazines and sources that you use, you can create it yourself. Again, the more we can play with this, the better. So markers are helpful for that. Glue sticks so that you can glue down whatever you have. Also, if you'd like to play with glitter, you can use actual bottles of glue, liquid glue, and you can write like your name in glue and then put glitter all over it and shake the excess glitter off. Again, remember arts and crafts class, if you're not doing this very often, play with it, make it fun. Then magazines. You're going to want a lot of magazines. And you're going to want a variety of magazines because you're going to have a variety in your life. I'm going to talk about creating a balanced vision board to reflect your balanced life. So you want to have some stuff that has to do with business, some stuff to do with health, some to do with your home, some to do with family. And you're going to look for image-intensive publications. If travel is a big part of your visualization, National Geographic is wonderful, especially being able to go and find the publications that feature the locations that you're interested in visiting. And yes, that's the Amazon right on the top of my samples. Guess where I want to go again? Also, you can just see there's a big variety here of everything. So just get a big variety of publications. This is where I also have to plug your local library. Libraries could use our help anytime we can give it. And they all have little bookstores in the front of their libraries where they fundraise. And they have magazines, often for 5, 10, 20 cents an issue. So you can walk in and for $2 you can walk out with an armful of magazines. Great way to do your vision boards. Finally, scissors. You want to be able to cut these things out. You want regular edge scissors, and then as you'll see here, I've put some crazy scissors in. It's really fun if you can make the edges kind of zigzag, and the more variety, the better for me. So having some fun crazy edge scissors also helps. You can get all of these supplies very affordably online and locally. I'm all about supporting local business, so I'd suggest you go there first. But just anything else, really, this is a possibilities vision board. So the sky's the limit, whatever's possible. Just have fun with it. Next, we're going to do a meditation to get you ready to go into your vision board and your creative process. Okay, at this point you've got your supplies and you're gathered together if you're going to do this in a group or it's just you. Either way, I invite you to sit comfortably, either on the floor with your legs crossed or with your feet flat on the floor if you're in a chair, seated around a table. And your back straight, hands in your lap. And just get comfortable. Take a couple of deep breaths. Slowly breathing in all the new possibilities. Taking it deep into your belly as it expands outward. And then exhaling any stress, any limiting beliefs you may have. Just let it all go. Breathing in again, the beautiful cleansing breath that's always there for us. Get deep inside you, allowing it to ignite the possibilities that lie dormant within you. And exhaling any fears or reservations that you may carry. Breathing out as slowly as you inhale. Do this a couple more times. feeling yourself filled with possibility. And I invite you to take your attention from the busy mind that we let run our lives a few inches down to your heart center, to that little portal right behind your heart. We call it the soul, the place where we link into all that is, to our higher self, to the divine. And in harmony with our higher self, we're going to set forth a vision for our life from this place forward. How do we want it to look? As images flow forth, don't block them, don't screen them, let them flow. Let's start with ourself. Because from taking care of ourself, we can then take care of every other. And let's face it, if you're anything like I am, you neglect the self a little bit. So let's go to the self. How do we want to take care of ourselves? In our daily practices, in our fitness, in our foods, in our hobbies, our downtime, our restoration. What habits do we want to cultivate that we may not have been attending to? Maybe these meditations, do we want to bring that into our lives? How do we want to look as we set foot out of the door each day? How we dress? What attitudes we put on? Now, let's look at our relationships. Starting with the most important one, whatever our divine being is to us, how is that relationship? How are we cultivating that? And then to our immediate family, how do we want that to look? What do we do with them? When do we see them? How do we honor them? A significant other that we either have or would like to have, if applicable or not. Who is that person and how do they show up in your life? What can you ask for to enhance that relationship, that flow of communication from them? More importantly, how do you show up for them? Parents, children, extended family. And what about the family we adopt, our closest friends? Do the top 5 people in our lives know who they are and how important they are to us? How could we show them more? What does that look like? Co-workers, business partners, clients, vendors, the people that we interact with on a frequent basis. How can we be more in those relationships? Here's an interesting one. What about those people from our past that aren't in our past? Are there exes you still interact with? How could that be a smoother relationship? What difference can you make? What's possible? Moving to career, how can we make a bigger difference? Is it our own business? Do we want to start one? Expand one? Move up the corporate ladder? Maybe you're happy with that just the way it is. How can you maintain that then, if that's your joy? We don't always have to strive. Sometimes it's just appreciating where we're at. Personal growth, one of my favorites. How can you grow this year? Academically, spiritually, physically, emotionally. How about your abundance? What is that? Is it money? Maybe somewhat. How are your finances? How are you taking care of yourself financially? How can you appreciate what you have more? And where do you want to share and give to others more? What does that look like? Moving to your home. How does your home take care of you and support you? Is it your place of rejuvenation? How can you shift that to be even more restorative to you? A place of joy, a calm in the storm that sometimes is life. How about your leisure time? New hobbies? Do you have a bucket list? Allow this all to flow through you. How would you live if this was it? What have you been putting off? It's your time. What a beautiful journey through possibilities. Bringing all of these treasures of the heart back now into this body, into this room, becoming aware again of your surroundings, of your feet on the floor, your hands in your lap. Take another big, deep breath. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Take the pen and paper that you have prepared and jot down whatever came through for you. And allow it to flow. Don't worry, you won't lose it. It's all there coming back to you. Jot down what your vision is. What are your possibilities? The deepest desires of your heart. And now we'll play. Now it's time to have some fun. You've got your magazines and scissors and glue sticks and poster boards, and we are ready to play. So what you want to do is take your note sheet so that you can start to purposefully look through the magazines and find images that resonate for you. I encourage you to use mostly images, and there's a reason. You're not going to want to sit down to meditate in front of your vision board and have to read it all. You're going to want to be able to glance at images that evoke emotion in you about what it is that you want. So it doesn't even have to be logical. If you see an image that triggers for you the feeling of the way you want a friendship to be, then you can put the person's name and that image. And that way, when you see that name and that image, it's going to bring forth for you, oh yeah, that's the feeling I'm trying to create with that person.
So it's really an emotional thing that you're trying to do, and you're trying to do it visually. So whatever you feel emotional about. That said, I'm going to go again through the categories because I know that having them in the meditation space isn't the same as having them when you're ready to do your vision board. So you may want to get another piece of paper and jot down these categories because, again, we're trying to create a very balanced vision board, which means you want to cover all your bases, right? Everything that came through. So I kind of went into a zone when I was doing the meditation. As best as I can, I'm going to recap what I believe I covered. So you want to look at how you're taking care of yourself, your health, how you are spending time, downtime, playtime, all the different things that you want to do to take care of you. How's your relationship with the divine as you define the divine or your higher power? How is your relationship with your romantic significant other? Or how would you like one to be if you don't have one? Or is that space open and you plan to leave it that way? That's okay too. Parents, children, your siblings. I think I forgot to mention that one in the meditation, but definitely if you have brothers and sisters, how do you want those relationships to be? Your extended family, your ex, if you have one, and their family. A lot of remarriages now with children involved. So the exes stay in the picture because the children, that's the children's parent. And if there's tension in that relationship, then there's tension for the child. So look at how you'd like that to shift. You don't have to be best buds, but the more civil and adult we can all be about this, the better it's going to be for the children, right? So take a look at that. Your friendships, your top 5 people who make the biggest difference for you. I went to a workshop where that was brought out, and I realized that one of those relationships wasn't being taken care of at all, and that was one of the people that had made the biggest difference in my life. So I went back and restored that relationship, and it's a very important part of my life today. How about your career or path of service? How can you make a bigger difference? Or do you love it the way it is? How can you be more grateful for what is great in your life, just the way it is? Personal growth, whether that's academic or workshops or meditation and those kinds of things. Where would you like to develop personally? Your body, again, we talked about nutrition, exercise, healthcare, fashion. All of those are areas you may want to represent on your vision board. Your finances, money or debt or retirement. How are you financially? Where would you like to give back? What would that look like? Volunteering might also be something you want to put on your vision board. Your home life, your furnishings, your home itself, where it's located, where you'd like it to be located. Does your home rise up to support you, as Oprah says, when you walk through the door? Or how would you like it to do that better? Your community. Are you involved in community? Do you want to be? What does that look like? Leisure time, travel, vacations, spas, retreats. Do you want them? Put it on there. Your hobbies. Bucket list. We always think we're going to get around to this later, and maybe we should be doing it now. So put all of those things on there. Basically, you're creating the life of your dreams, right? And that's important. Also, look at things that are frustrating you. I don't like to focus on the negative, but we have emotions as part of our internal navigation system for where we want to be in our life. It shows us the disconnect between our heart's greatest desires and how we're actually living. Areas of frustration are areas for growth. They're your opportunities. So if you have an area of frustration, how would you like that to be resolved? Start to put that forward on your vision board and see that unfold. I've just gotten something I want to put on my vision board. It's funny how that works. So these are all areas for you to focus on your vision board. Cut out pictures, play. You might want to go on the internet. You may even want to create your whole vision board on the computer. But one word of caution, you may not create something that's big that you want to hang by your bed on the computer quite the way you would here. And cutting and pasting and chit-chat and glue sticks and crayons and markers, all those things activate the creative space in our brain. They help us to awaken. So definitely I encourage you to get creative and play with this. Make some tea, sit around with your friends and have a play day and just go crazy with it. The next thing I'm going to talk to you about is how you want to arrange the aspects of your vision board. As you're cutting out, you may want to set on your vision board so that you know, or your poster board, so that you know when your poster is getting full. Beyond that, there's an order that you may want to place it. So this is where we're going to cover a little Feng Shui. And I'm going to talk about how that might lay out to better enhance the likelihood of it actually happening, right? So that's what's next. Feng Shui vision boarding. Looking at this layout, I've simplified it as much as possible. This would be your home. This is how you feng shui anything. So from the bottom of your vision board, with your vision board laid out the way this is, you can start to lay out your materials around the vision board. And by dividing your vision board into quadrants and following this, it also helps you to balance your life. So let's start at the upper left. We've got wealth and prosperity. This is where you want your prosperity stuff to go. Anything relating to finances and the giving back, the flow of money is good, anything there. Then moving to the top center, fame and reputation. How do you want to be viewed by the world, by your friends, by your family? This is kind of your image. This is you creating your image from the heart space intentionally. You can't control what other people think about you, and that's important to remember. But it is a good idea to put out there the things that you want your image to be so that you attract who you want to attract into your reality, right? So if you're an entrepreneur and you want to be known for something like vision boards, maybe you'd put a vision board up there, a little picture of your vision board or something. So however you want to be known to the world, put that in there. Also, if you notice people treating you in a way different than the way you want to be known, then maybe that's a flag for you and where you can shift your image. Top right is love and marriage. This is your romantic sizzling stuff, if you even want that in your life right now. If not, maybe you put some self-care there, or maybe you put the divine there. What do you want for your love and marriage? Where's your attention going? Moving to the center region of the vision board now, and starting at the left, that is health and family, all those fitness goals we talked about, possibly some meditation in there as well, or how you want to take care of yourself. And where do you see your relationships with your family? Put those types of pictures in there as well. The center simply says center for a reason. This is the center of it all. This is the heart space of your vision board. What is the heart of your life? From this place, everything else radiates out. So it's very important what you put in the center. Next, we go to creativity and children. This is all your creative stuff. If you're a writer, if you're a painter, if you're an artist of any kind, you want to fuel that in here. You want to put anything to do with your inner child, the children in your life, the grandchildren in your life. That's what goes here. Moving to the bottom left now, wisdom and self-cultivation. This is what you want to do to grow yourself. Academia goes in here, spiritual enrichment goes in here, things that you want to do to expand your wisdom and your sense of self. The bottom center is career. And this is where you put your entrepreneurial stuff, your climb up the corporate ladder stuff, changing in jobs, all of that. People you want to attract to be professional partners for you. If you're in business for yourself, you may feel that you could collaborate more to make a bigger difference or expand your offerings and services. Great stuff to put in there. Last but not least is helpful people and travel. I like this one. This is who could show up to help you out. A lot of times we forget we can ask for help. So helpful people goes there. Travel goes there. This is where Peru goes on my vision board. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go back to? What do you want to bring into your reality? Put it down there. This is also how you would lay your home out. So if you are standing in front of your home and you're in the entryway, you are standing facing career. You want to measure equally. So you would measure your house, and then you want to take those measurements equally, and it goes from the frontmost portion of your house to the backmost portion of your house. And if you have a missing corner, well, guess what? That counts too. I'll give you an example that's kind of interesting. In my wealth and prosperity, that corner of my home is actually out in the yard. if you measure from the back wall of my home. And it was sloping downhill. This is not good for wealth and prosperity. The money was running away down the hill. So I put a bird bath there and put water in it. So it's taller. It's where it needs to be height-wise. Water flows, and so it keeps flowing. I keep putting water in there. So you can make compensations to help. I don't want to go too far off into Feng Shui, but it's some very interesting stuff, and a little bit of difference to your living space can make a huge difference in your life. So hang on to this for whatever you want to use it for, but it makes the vision board creative process fun. I hope you're enjoying this so far. Okay, the neat thing about this being a video is you can pause and then play it some more, and then pause and do your thing, and then play some more. But basically, if you want to run it all the way through and then just go off and do your vision board, that works. I do want to note one thing. I've worked with some people who kind of paid more attention to the other vision boards than their own and commented on somebody else's vision board. You know, this is a very intimate creation. And so, especially if you're doing this with your family or with close friends, you be supportive. Be very conscientious that what you say will be taken very deeply by the person that you say it to, because you're playing in their dream space. And we don't ever want to limit somebody's dreams. They may be capable of things you can't imagine. So let's keep this very positive and encouraging to one another and ourselves. That said, this is time to look at my vision board. Talk about putting yourself out there. This is the vision board that I created at the beginning of this year. And I've done it in quadrants. So I'll move around the board kind of the way I moved around the quadrants a minute ago. So wealth and prosperity. In that area, I have friends, because I think friendship is my wealth. Who I know and who I spend time around. I've also got a little money there. A word of warning about money. You can put stacks of money all over your board if you want to, but if you ask people with a lot of money, it isn't the money that made them happy. It's whatever the money represented for them. So put what you want, not the money to buy it with, but what it actually is. What do you want? Friendships can't be bought. That's why they're my wealth. I put a few things there that I think would be nice to pick up or go to or whatever. But for the most part, my wealth is not my money. Funny how that works. Then moving into the next area, fame and reputation, I am building Journey of Possibilities to be an anywhere community. And so that's what I wanted there, as well as building it in partnership with my life partner. So I have a picture there of a couple playing. I've got audiences because to me, taking this out is the beauty of it. I've got pictures of green space. I've got meditation. Then moving over to the top right, it's all about intimacy. And intimacy, yes, I've got sexual confidence there, but there's a lot more to intimacy than that, isn't there? And passion. And then coming down into creativity. You can play with the boundary lines. If you measure your poster into quadrants, passion is almost on that boundary line between creativity and love and marriage. Because I'm just as passionate about my creativity, being the voice for the things that I believe in, doing workshops like this one, writing. I also have brilliant colors in there because to me, that sparks my creativity. And then moving down to helpful people in travel, waterfalls, airplanes, my macaw. Yes, I'm going back to Peru. And some other places. And I've done some of these things this year. I'm looking at my vision board and realizing I brought a lot to life with this. That's always fun. For career, again, I have more groups sitting around together, and I've got a computer, and I've got my feet up next to a computer because, again, I want an anywhere community. I've got the world down there, and then into wisdom and self-cultivation. And you see a lot of self-nurturing there because I tend to take care of everybody else better than I take care of me. So keeping that in my focus, that I want to work on that. Health and family. Again, I told you earlier, sometimes the images that you pick evoke an emotion. And to me, the woman with her hands up and the doves flying up, that's about freedom. It's about freeing ourselves from the things that we let restrict us. Our limiting beliefs, limiting people, limiting situations. I've got lots of vegetables in there, and believe me, my diet is undergoing transformation towards plants. So that's good. And as I said, the center of the vision board is the most important place. And Journey of Possibilities is not only my business, it's who I am. So in the center, you see possibilities. You see toward the center space there, meditation. You see a massage. Yes, getting centered is all about centering into myself. But the center message there is to be enlightened is to be intimate with all things. A respect for all life, a respect for enlightenment, that's at the heart of who I am and what I'm doing, everything I'm doing. So I hope this helped, seeing an example of what you're wanting to create for yourself and putting a few buzzwords in there, here and there, that are in big letters so that you can see them from your space where you meditate or lie your head at night, that also evoke emotion in you. And to play with this, have fun. This is your dream space. Make it all it can be. I hope you're having fun with vision boards. Isn't this great? It's fun to play, and we forget to do it. So I hope you'll do this at the start of each new year, at the start of each new shifting point in your life. It's a great way to get clarity and have your friends over. I want to leave you with a quote. The moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. All sorts of things occur to help one that would never otherwise have occurred. A whole stream of events issues from the decision, raising in one's favor all manner of unforeseen incidents, meetings, and material assistance which no man could have dreamed would come his way. Whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Begin it now. That's W.H. Murray from the Scottish Himalaya expedition. And I love how it talks about how all types of unforeseen people, places, activities will suddenly appear. There's power in declaring what you want. You're carving out your future. Do it boldly and do it often. I love to hear how this process works for you. Please reach out to me at Journey of Possibilities and let me know what you think, and let me know what else I can do to help you make a bigger difference and explore your journey of possibilities. Thank you.